Have you considered that your breakfast can be subtly damaging your heart each specific day? A significant number of individuals remain uninformed. It is, however, essential to recognize that heart failure rarely begins with chest discomfort or notable symptoms. It commences with slight, customary inaccuracies. Furthermore, the most substantial one could be situated directly upon your morning repast setting. Irrespective of your status, surpassing the age of 60 or merely aiming to protect the first meal of your day carries considerable weight. A considerable impact on the operation of your heart, the roles of blood vessels, the procedure, and the way in which your body regulates elevated blood pressure, cholesterol levels, and inflammation is a complex biological response of the body to harmful stimuli such as pathogens, damaged cells, or irritants. It involves a cascade of cellular and molecular events aimed at eliminating the initial cause of cell injury, clearing out necrotic cells, and initiating tissue repair. Understanding the mechanisms and implications of inflammation is crucial for advancing our knowledge in various fields of health and disease. In the video presented today, we shall evaluating the 10 most undesirable breakfast choices, mistakes that lead to heart failure, especially in the senior population. Some errors may manifest harmless and may even provide advantages, yet they are subtly applying emotional energy as time progresses. Consequently, we strongly urge you to stay with us until the end, as the most common mistake is the initial one that is generating significant emotional distress for numerous individuals each year without any advance warning. Let us advance. Commenced. 10. Partaking in the remnants of fried fare or fast food offerings gastronomy. Partaking in the remnants of fried dishes or takeout fare. Although breakfast choices might seem practical, it is crucial to evaluate their comprehensive effects. It can be one of the most harmful elements for your central. These foods are often prepared in oils that negatively impact health, which experience oxidation. At what hour reheated? Oxidized oils produce a range of compounds that negatively impact your arteries and increase inflammation is a complex biological response of the body to harmful stimuli such as pathogens, damaged cells, or irritants. It involves various cellular and molecular mechanisms that work together to restore homeostasis and promote healing. They also contain a significant amount of trans fats and fats that increase your negativity cholesterol and improve your advantageous cholesterol. Both pose considerable threats to cardiovascular well-being. Setback. Fast food also encompasses remarkably high levels of sodium that results in fluid retention and elevates blood anxiety. As time advances, these effects culminate into the stiffening of blood vessels, increase the stresses imposed on the cardiac system, along with the advancing state of cardiac health muscle atrophy. Experienced professionals are especially vulnerable because of the human body metabolizes fats and sodium to a reduced degree. Efficiently. Initiating your day with these foods increase the probability of negative results. Circulation, chest discomfort, and fatigue signs of an impaired cardiovascular system. Instead of opting for leftover fries or instead of a reheated burger, you might want to consider choosing fresh meals like whole grain toast, boiled eggs, or a nutritious smoothie, incorporating oats. And the fruits belonging to the genus Rubus are commonly known as berries. Avoiding leftover fried foods. In the morning, it is not simply a trivial alternative. This signifies a notable progression towards protecting your emotions and preventing potential heart failure. The heart is an intricate organ that serves a vital function within the circulatory system, facilitating the movement of blood throughout the body and guaranteeing the supply of oxygen and nutrients to diverse tissues. The organization and operation of this system are crucial for sustaining overall health and wellness. The advantages of unadulterated nourishment as opposed to unpleasantly greasy remnants. 9. Partaking in fruit drink. Instead of eating whole fruit, partaking in fruit juice during the morning hours may seem advantageous, yet it hides potential hazard for your essential. Juices that are available for purchase, including those designated as entirely fruit juice, are plentiful, comprising natural sugars and lacking fiber. Without the presence of fiber to regulate absorption, these carbohydrates, particularly sugars, lead to a rapid elevation in blood glucose concentrations. Increases enhancing the probability of insulin opposition and increased triglycerides. Elevated concentrations of triglycerides are directly linked to blocked arteries, reduced blood flow, and persistent heart conditions damage, even if you apply your own diligence. Although juice may provide a refreshing experience, it is important to note that it does not contain the fiber that is present in whole fruits. Whole fruits. As time progresses, this practice may hold the potential to lead to ongoing inflammation and increased fat accumulation, the buildup around your internal organs, especially the core. A significant portion of older adults view juice as an enlightening and refreshing start to the day. Nonetheless, the situation indicates that you are inundating your system with sugar exactly when your body is extremely delicate. Instead, opt for a simple bowl brimming with whole fruits like apples, oranges, or berries. These contain a vast array of substances that safeguard cardiovascular health and components that promote digestive wellness, that encourages optimal cholesterol levels and enhances cardiovascular well-being. Management of pressure. Executing this unique modification can greatly diminish your chances of cardiac insufficiency. It is crucial to remember that consuming the fruit functions as a therapeutic agent. The act of consuming the juice is artificial sweetener. It is crucial to protect your heart. Furthermore, consuming the whole fruit represents the most advantageous strategy and circumvent the glass. 8 entities. Overindulgence in food intake. At the very beginning of the day. Initiating your day with a significant, robust meal can elicit a feeling of fulfillment, yet it might quietly enforce considerable stress on your cardiovascular system. In the wake of a time for revitalization, your digestive system and the hearts are just starting to stir. When an individual encounters a significant surge, your abdomen brimming with an abundance of nourishment, especially abundant in fats or carbohydrates elements, it inspires a deep commitment to put forth effort more complex to manage digestion and uphold regulation glucose concentrations. This unforeseen escalation in duties increases your blood pressure and heart rate. Assess placing further demands on your cardiovascular system. For individuals approaching the culmination of their academic journey, especially those who already have conditions like hypertension or prediabetes, can result in a sense of fatigue, challenges in respiration or lightheadedness, signs that your heart is encountering difficulties. Regularly indulging in large quantities at breakfast could potentially lead to an increase in weight and affect metabolic processes, inequality, notable elements in cardiac insufficiency. Attaining a state of balance is crucial. A well-balanced breakfast should be appropriately sized, beneficial and abundant in vital nutrients, not overly large and greasy. Examine the phenomenon of boiling. Eggs served alongside vegetables, oatmeal complemented by fruit or yogurt that includes seeds. These options enhance cardiovascular health without excessively taxing your system. It is not simply regarding the amount and at what time shall we convene. Engaging in mindful practices during the morning meal supports your cardiovascular well-being and sustains your ensuring a steady flow of energy across the entire day. More compact, intelligent meals lead to an extended, more resilient state of being. 7. Choosing white bread or processed carbohydrates. White bread, pastries, muffins, and breakfast cereals that contain elevated levels of sugar may have the potential to be calming options for the morning. However they consist of refined carbohydrates that possess the capability to gradually erode your emotional well-being over time. These foods lack adequate fiber and essential nutrients. nutrients suggesting that they undergo decomposition swiftly transformed into glucose, resulting in increased blood sugar levels, variations, and declines. Regular increases encourage your pancreas to increase its output insulin, leading to a state of insulin resistance, a crucial component in the realm of type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular disease. These refined carbohydrates also trigger inflammation in your circulatory system vessels, jeopardizing their delicate lining and increasing your chances of plaque development advancement. When consumed regularly, they increase unfavorable cholesterol levels and promote the accumulation of abdominal fat, excessive weight, two critical markers of cardiovascular concern setback. A considerable portion of the senior population was brought up on a diet that encompassed toast or white rice, may serve as options for breakfast. However, as individuals advance through the different phases of life, significant physiological changes take place, especially within the cardiovascular system, becomes progressively aware of the impact of diet choices. Replacing refined carbohydrates with complex selections, including oats millet quinoa or multi-grain bread, possesses considerably reduce your risk. These complex carbohydrates facilitate a steady and sustained release of energy over time, improve digestive functions, and aid in regulation blood pressure measurement. The choices you undertake in the early hours shape your daily wellness. Begin with substituting that white toast with a component that fosters development rather than hinders the fundamental nature of your existence. It signifies a subtle progression that holds the promise to contribute to the prevention of future cardiovascular complications. 6. Employing margarine or processed butter spreads. Spreadable margarine and processed butter substitutes were earlier advocated as being more advantageous than standard butter. However, a multitude of varieties can be found defined by trans fats, one of the most detrimental elements for cardiovascular well-being. Trans fats increase your harmful cholesterol. LDL diminishes your levels of beneficial cholesterol, HDL, and provoke inflammation throughout the human body. They also promote the gathering of accumulation within your blood vessels, which reduces blood flow to your heart and increases the probability of encountering heart attacks and cardiac insufficiency. Labels that are distributed evenly. Products labeled as trans fat-free may still contain trace amounts. Quantities if they are generated with partial hydrogenated oils. Older individuals who are brought up using margarine may feasibly maintain its use on a daily basis without gaining insight into the danger, employing it on toast or incorporating it into culinary practices. Every morning builds upon itself, adding to the overall accumulation. Your cardiovascular condition requires immediate attention. Risk assessment and management are critical components in various fields of study. Instead, opt for natural choices, including avocado olive oil or even a small amount of grass-fed butter. These advantageous lipids play a crucial role in the preservation of guarantee sufficient circulation and reduce inflammation. It is essential to remember that your heart necessitates advantageous lipids, steering clear of synthetic substitutes. Developing a shifting away from margarine may seem, though it may be diminutive, it remains one of the most impressive steps you can implement to protect your arteries and improve your heart strength as you age. Overindulgence in coffee, lacking any form of nourishment. A considerable portion of older adults commence their day with a cup of black coffee before engaging in any form of consumption. However, this behavior may prove to be harmful, the progression of your heart over the years. Drinking coffee on an empty stomach rapidly increases cortisol, the body's stress hormone. Elevated cortisol levels rise. Increased blood pressure, disrupt blood sugar levels, and elevate your pulse. Increased efficiency. Drinking multiple cups without adequate nourishment, the situation becomes increasingly dire. Stress on your cardiovascular system. This could lead to palpitations and irregularities, cardiac rhythms, and over an extended duration, cardiac fatigue and insufficiency. Individuals of advanced age demonstrate an increased sensitivity to these factors. Effects arising from age-related changes in the interplay between metabolic processes and the regulation of blood pressure. Supervision. While moderate intake of coffee may prove advantageous when paired with meals engaging with it in isolation, especially in the good morning, it has the potential to disrupt your system. Equilibrium. Individuals may encounter sensations of restlessness or unease, or experiencing fatigue by mid-morning, which are signs that your body is reacting unfavorably. To protect your cardiovascular health, it is advisable to refrain from alcohol consumption. An introspective coffee experience. It is crucial to consistently associate it with nutrients, including protein, fiber, or advantageous fats, such as a boiled egg accompanied by a slice of whole grain toast accompanied by nut spread, or a portion of Greek yogurt with seeds. These hinder the absorption of caffeine and sustain balance within your body. Coffee ought not to be perceived as an opponent. The way in which and upon consumption it induces a significant impact on the excellence. This is simply a concise correspondence regarding persons who are 60 years old and older. If you are genuinely dedicated to upholding your ensuring a strong cardiovascular system and emphasizing well-being as one, at this juncture we possess something distinctive, for recognizing your contributions is of utmost importance. The recently launched Senior Health application is presently accessible and completely free of charge. This application facilitates the monitoring of your blood pressure, glucose, and routine cardiovascular metrics. It is essential that you furthermore obtain clear nutritional guidance articulated with a scholarly approach. Direction accompanied by clear methods to ensure protection your heart each day. Moreover, it arrives leveraging essential resources such as BMI and heart tools for assessing risk, meticulously designed for senior individuals. A considerable cohort of individuals is presently engaging with it to cultivate vitality, uphold resilience, and flourish prolonged. You may find the download link available at this location, exactly as outlined in the description provided below. Merely tap and initiate the procedure today. 4. The consumption of instant food that contains elevated levels of sodium confectionaries. A considerable portion of the population relies on instant noodles. Immediate combinations or practical mixtures for breakfast is preferred for its straightforwardness. Nonetheless, these foods have a significant sodium content, a notable opponent of yours essential. The presence of sodium contributes to the retention of fluids within the body, fluid that enhances your circulation extent. This urges your heart to strive increased difficulty in blood circulation, raising blood, applying force, and generating further tension on the essence of your existence muscles over the span of history. Increased intake of sodium could lead to an increase in arterial thickness and a reduction in the flexibility of blood vessels, and even cardiac hypertrophy, a condition that develops the foundation for enthusiasm setback. The significant risk lies in the fact that it is important to note that not all foods exhibit a salty flavor profile. Even wholesome oats, stored legumes, or healthful breakfast bars might hide higher levels of sodium. Is a chemical element with the symbol Na and atomic number 11. It is an essential element in various biological processes and plays a crucial role in maintaining fluid balance in living organisms. Students in their concluding year are especially in jeopardy because of their renal condition, less effective in removing excess salt. In the event that you experience bloating, swelling in the lower limbs, or challenges with respiration following the intake of sodium-rich dishes, your cardiovascular system may be encountering stress. Aim for the upper limit of 1/500 units of sodium per day and no more than $400 million for each meal. Instead of depending on sodium bombs, it would be prudent to explore fresh alternatives. Options like unadorned oats and hard-boiled eggs, fruit, or meticulously prepared artisanal smoothies made in the comfort of one's own kitchen. Avoiding salty, instant meals in the morning could engage in the actions that safeguard your fundamental nature. 3. The consumption of processed meats like bacon or sausages. Processed meats such as bacon and sausages, ham, and cold cuts serve as fundamental elements in various traditional breakfast options. However, they are significantly harmful to cardiovascular well-being, especially if you go beyond 60. These meats possess a considerable quantity of sodium, saturated fat, and chemical additives, including nitrates and nitrites. Sodium plays a role in fluid retention and blood pressure in conjunction with saturated fat, and nitrates exert a direct adverse influence on your blood composition, frameworks, and encourage the gathering of atherosclerotic accumulation within your vascular system. This presents constraints the movement of blood to your heart, enhancing its ability to pump more demanding than it should. Ultimately, this leads to increased elevated blood pressure, heart muscle enlargement, and ultimately resulting in heart failure. A significant portion of older adults enjoys a hearty breakfast, with these items unaware of the implicit internal harm occurring. Moreover, the danger resides in the essence of these meats, refined and inspire a feeling of satisfaction. Therefore, they are clear and direct and surpass one's nutritional boundaries. Nonetheless, the persistent cost is serious. If you desire to protect consider omitting the bacon and sausage for the sake of your heart. Shift towards alternatives that enhance cardiovascular health. It may be beneficial to explore the inclusion of proteins sourced from plants, including those that are hard-boiled. Eggs, unsalted nuts, or low-fat yogurt are excellent choices. Your heart thrives on genuine wholesome sustenance, not concerning lubricants and substances. Eliminating processed meats from your breakfast could potentially reduce your chances of having a stroke cardiac arrest, along with cardiovascular insufficiency, requires further examination. Thank you for your consideration. Comprehend. 2. Indulging in sugary. Each morning, the meal commonly comprises cereals. It is a widely held notion among numerous individuals. Breakfast cereals may serve as a beneficial option for one's dietary needs, especially when the packaging specifies whole grain or improved with dietary enhancements. Nonetheless, the truth is that most favored cereals frequently possess elevated amounts of sugar and processed components, carbohydrates in conjunction with artificial flavorings that do more harm than outstanding. A single serving could encompass a range of 20 to 30 grams of sugar. This surpasses the limits of a conventional container. Carbonated drink. These sweet compounds lead to a swift elevation in your blood glucose levels. Ascend rapidly, urging your physique to produce significant amounts of insulin, surpassing. Over time, this leads to a state of insulin resistance, a significant factor in the development of obesity, diabetes, and cardiovascular disease. The sugars also convert into increased concentrations of lipids within the circulatory system on the rise triglycerides and low-density lipoprotein cholesterol, which impede your blood vessels and reduce your core. Senior individuals exhibit a heightened susceptibility as a result of a reduction in metabolic rate, and the heart grows progressively more vulnerable to the mechanisms underlying inflammation and the deposition bits of adipose tissue. It is conceivable that one might not immediately recognize the influence nonetheless. Years of consuming sugary cereal for breakfast could lead to fatigue, chest discomfort, or shortness of breath. Preliminary signs of cardiovascular concerns. Setback. Select steel-cut oats instead. Plain muesli or chia pudding with a hint of sweetness with fruit. These options offer you sustained energy that does not lead to an increase in your sugar levels. Discontinue the cereal aisle and offer your heart an authentic improvement with a completely natural, sugar-free alternative breakfast. 1. Circumventing breakfast thoroughly. Skipping breakfast may seem harmless or possibly advantageous if one is striving to attain weight loss. yet it continues to be one of the most hazardous practices for your central. Skipping breakfast may result in the body undergoes a response characterized by stress, leading to the release of increased cortisol levels, the stress hormone. This raises your blood pressure and enhances inflammation in your arteries. It also disrupts your insulin levels. Response leading to increased blood glucose levels later in the day. Studies suggest individuals who skip breakfast often exhibit a greater tendency to be inclined to indulge in substantial quantities of unhealthy foods in the latter portion of the day, adding to the contribution's pressure on the cardiovascular system. Final year students who choose not to engage consistent breakfast consumption correlates with markedly improved results. The possibility of cardiovascular conditions, cerebrovascular incidents, and even untimely passing. Indeed, forgoing breakfast is linked to a 33% higher probability of yielding to cardiovascular complications. Your heart necessitates sustenance in the morning to administer circulation, supervise blood glucose, and enhance vitality. Even a modest morning meal might consist of a banana paired with almonds. Butter or a bowl of oatmeal can generate an immense distinction. Do not allow this singular straightforward habit transforms into a quiet presence exceptional. Commence your day with an engaging activity, wholesome, beneficial, and good for the heart. Your heart will express gratitude, and you will experience enhanced strength, endurance, and vitality, ensured safety on a daily basis. And there you have it. 10 prevalent errors made during breakfast that may be quietly causing distress to your heart. Some of these may appear minor or innocuous, yet as time progresses, they accumulate and elevate the likelihood of heart failure, particularly following the age of 60. The heart diligently performs its functions for you every single day. It is now appropriate to reciprocate by making informed decisions each morning. Begin with fundamental adjustments. Consume whole foods, opt for whole foods, steer clear of processed junk, and refrain from forego the morning meal. These incremental actions can significantly impact your emotional state, the functioning of your heart, and its duration. You maintain your well-being and engaged. Keep in mind the opportunity to begin prioritizing the health of your heart. If one found this video to be quite informative, please consider giving it a positive acknowledgement and pass it along to a colleague or a relative who should be informed of this. Additionally, please ensure to explore our complimentary advanced health application for older adults. The connection can be found please refer to the description box below. Thank you for observing, and we look forward to our next encounter video featuring additional heartfelt insights and clever suggestions exclusively for you. Maintain your well-being and resilience, and prioritize the well-being of your heart at all times day.